There we go, country fried pork chops with a bacon gravy and mashed potatoes. Look at that. That's easy enough, isn't it? Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing a southern fried country fried pork chop. Now I'm not very good with this southern accent, so I'll stick with the cooking. In here, on here, I've got pork loin. Okay, it was a piece of pork loin, and I've actually sliced it into 3 pieces. So as you can see, they are reasonable sized pieces, so hopefully they'll cook fine. I'm sure they will. Right, now what we have to do is make some buttermilk, because I don't have buttermilk here. So there you go, there's a bowl. And we want enough buttermilk to cover that, so it's going to be about 2 cups. There you go. So 2 cups, we want buttermilk. You add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice per cup. So we want 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in there. I always use apple cider vinegar. Always. Give it a stir. That'll start to curdle. Look, it's already starting. That'll start to curdle. In 5 minutes, that will be buttermilk. I'm going to chuck those in there. There you go. That is buttermilk. Can you see how it's all split and everything on there? That's fine. Right, take our pork, submerge our pork in there. It's a bit like doing KFC. You know, the buttermilk is going to tenderize, flavour the pork. So we're going to marinate it for about 4 hours. So you can put it in a plastic bag or anything like that if you want. I'm just going to cover this in cling wrap. Nothing special. I'm just going to leave it on the side. 4 hours, we'll carry on. There you go. So that's our pork marinating. Okay, we're set to bring this together. Now I've just chopped up some bacon actually with a pair of scissors, because obviously we're making a bacon gravy. I don't usually actually season flour for recipes as such, but this is one of those recipes where you actually season the flour. So in here I've got some flour, and we're just going to add a little bit of seasoning to this. So we're going to go a little bit of salt, and we're going to go some black pepper. Half a teaspoon paprika, some garlic powder, some onion powder, and there we go. For this recipe you can use semolina or corn flour to make it stick a bit better, make it a bit crunchy. I'm going to use corn flour. All we do is give that a mix up. Mix it well, because we are dredging our pork in this. So grab yourself a tray with a rack, because what we're going to do is dredge the pork and leave it on there for 10 minutes. So there's our pork sitting in there nicely, and we're just going to take that out of there. Look, beautiful. Give it a little shake, and that is going in there. On your rack. Goes on the rack for 10 minutes. And what happens is the fluid in the pork leaches out into the flour and it sticks. It helps it stick it on. And we get a crispier outer batter, if you like. You know, everybody has their own way of doing this, you know. So just let that sit there for 10 minutes. Okay, we've got our beautiful chops there. Look, they've been sat there for 10 minutes, and you can see how the flour has absorbed the fluid and stuck to the outside of the pork. So you've only got a little bit of white there, look, what is still dry. The rest is stuck to the pork, which is going to give us a nice crusty surface. Come on, let's get frying. So we're going to cook these for about 4 or 5 minutes per side. We'll take them out, put them back on the rack, and then we're going to cook the bacon gravy. So it's just nice and steady in there. So like always when we're cooking this sort of stuff, don't be frightened of turning it over. You need to bring the heat in from both sides. So just let it have a little minute to settle itself there. Cook that other side, put a crust on, or turn it over. So we're just going to give that a little turn, look, and then we're going to turn it back again. So we're just going to turn that back over, and then we'll turn it back again. So when you've done about 5 minutes each side, out it comes. Back on your rack. Beautiful. Right, now we don't want all that oil in there. And we certainly don't want all this that's come off the flour mixture as we've been cooking. Can you see that? That we definitely don't want. So we're just going to drain that oil out into a tub and we'll carry on. So what you do is you put those to keep warm. Right, I'm going to take a little bit of that oil. So flame on, bacon in. Crisp up your bacon and we're taking it out. This is what we're going to be using in our gravy. So just get a little cooking on and you decide what you want. Do you want really crispy bits of bacon in your gravy, or do you want to see bacon in your gravy with a little bit of crisping on? That's the way I'm going to go. Okay, when you've got your bacon done how you want it, that comes out into a tub. So out it comes. Fabulous. Bacon on one side. A little bit of butter in there. Hit your butter in. It'll whiz round. In there, a couple of tablespoons of flour. And give it a cooking. Just cook out that rawness of that flour in there. A little bit of salt, not much. A little bit of black pepper. Fabulous. Little stir on. Oh, that's wonderful, look. That's not catchy. That's what we're talking. For me, I'm going in with a teaspoon of mustard. Okay, mustard optional. It doesn't taste of mustard, but we know it's in. Okay, in with your milk. All of your milk. And just nice and steady. Just cook it. Just take your time, the lumps will definitely disappear. Now if it's going too thick like that, you can add a little bit more milk or a bit of water. Obviously we don't want a big, thick, stodgy, horrible gravy. So I'm going to do water because I'm not posh, just to show you. And you just bring it back in again gently and you'll get a nice smooth gravy. Back in there with that bacon and any delicious fats that have come out. Stir in, and there's our bacon gravy. This is actually open to anything, you know. If you want to chuck cheese in there and make it a cheese bacon gravy, feel free, you know. Don't be fooled that it has to be just a white gravy with bacon in. It's cooking. Put in what you enjoy. So that will do. That's flame off, and let's serve up. On there, mashed potato. Now I'm going to serve it slightly different actually. Let's just bring that out like that. A little bit in the middle. I'm making an island. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm going to fill that up with gravy. And a nice little spoonful of that gravy on there. There we go, country fried pork chops with a bacon gravy and mashed potatoes. Look at that. That's easy enough, isn't it? Well, we've got to be in, haven't we? Come on, we got mashed potatoes, we got that gravy under there. That is superb. Buttery mashed potatoes, bacon gravy. That is mouth-watering actually. And in here, we're going to have to demolish it, aren't we? We're going to have to demolish it, come on. In here, our lovely, perfectly cooked, juicy pork. Look at that. Oh yeah. Absolutely outstanding. Well, nothing hard about that cook, is there? Very straightforward, very easy. Country fried pork chops, bacon gravy, mashed potatoes. And you know, for me, it's got to be done. It's probably not the American way, but you know, it's my way. We're having a bit of Coleman's. We're taking the American way, a British way. There you go. You can't beat a little bit of pork and that mustard. Absolutely delicious. There you go. If you like what we're doing, share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make country fried pork, a bacon gravy and mashed potatoes. Superb. If you do like what we're doing, a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Catch you in the next video.